YouTube kind of plugs those gaps now between projects, so I am able to pick and choose the client projects that I do. The thing is, I find that kind of consistency really, really dull and boring. So yeah, YouTube is sectarian. You heard it here first. Welcome to the mountains, and today, this week, pretty much marks 5 years since I started posting on this YouTube channel. So much has happened since then. I've learned so much, and this video is going to cover all aspects of what it's been like over the last year, the good, the bad, what worked, what didn't work. I'm going to discuss the new spin-off tech channel and how actually it might be on its way to overtaking this channel. We're also going to discuss YouTube Shorts and why I'm probably going to delete them all off my channel. But I'm also going to talk about how, despite all the good stuff, I don't really think this channel is ever really gonna just explode and really take off the way some do, and maybe why that's not such a problem. If this is your first time visiting the channel, welcome, but this is a video more aimed at subscribers, so it might not be just exciting as some of the other videos on the channel. So have a look around, you might find something else you'll want to watch if you find this one a little bit boring. Before we get into it, you know what, I camped up here last night just to get some amazing footage of the sunrise. It ended up being really cloudy, and I thought I wasn't going to get anything, and then the sun appeared over the clouds. Take a look at this. You know what, we're going to start off with a little bit of an insight, because I actually end up shooting the intros to videos several times, because sometimes the location will change, sometimes I'll change what I want to say, and the first time I recorded it included some inputs from some other people, and I kind of want to include them in the video. So you know what, let's go and look at my alternative intro. I figured out what the whole theme, topic, title of this video or hook is going to be. So this is going to be about, it's been 5 years since I started posting regularly on YouTube, but because you need conflict in a story, you always need something, you know, it can't all be roses. But the reason why I think my channel's never actually going to be hugely successful, which is true, I don't think it will be.
It depends. It also depends how you measure success, I guess.
I'll just watch it because I'm in it.
David and Jim, bumped into them. They're pretty much heading the same direction I am. You might not be able to tell from the fact there's stuff hanging off the back and off the front. This is Jim's first time wild camping. There's stuff hanging off the back.
And as the bag in there
as the bag.
To be fair, that's my old stuff.
That's your old
So
stuff.
I upgrade it once I know what
Right.
I need and give him.
So you learn all the lessons that you've learned the painful way, and then inflicted it on.
That's the only way to learn, isn't it, really?
That's it. I think you have to make
Painful lesson.
you have to make your own mistakes. So I decided to go back and look at my most successful videos of the last 12 months, and by most successful, I mean they had to have at least 5,000 views, and I had to personally enjoy making them. They couldn't be just like a really lazy video that I didn't really believe in, one I didn't enjoy making, and they also couldn't be one that didn't get very many views. I'm just being kind of strict, just rolling a lot of stuff out, but kind of had to be brutal and harsh. Here's what they mostly have in common. This might not be surprising, but generally they were all well planned. Either I came up with an idea for a thumbnail, or I planned a title. There was some kind of consideration went into what this video was going to be about and what was going to be interesting about it. I researched locations ahead of time. If it was a review, I made sure that I knew my stuff and could just talk about it. So yeah, they were all well planned in at least one aspect, even if that was just the thumbnail. Generally, the good cinematography, good editing, good storytelling. There was generally a clear through line of what this video was about. They weren't kind of random like this. And I put effort into them all. They all had a certain amount of effort, although some of them were quite easy to do, like the review video I just sat down and talked, but I put the effort into going to an interesting location, getting an interesting thumbnail, and actually thinking about what it was that I was going to say beforehand. They were all generally good ideas that captured either something people are currently interested in or just an interesting topic. A couple of those videos were incredibly straightforward shoots with quite simple edits. The Tiny Tim, my most successful video of the year, I edited that entire video in maybe like a third of the time I would edit most videos, because I only really used, I think I only used one camera. Yeah, I only really used one camera. I used a lot of tripod shots, which is still much slower, linear form of filmmaking. Very easy to edit, but yet it ended up being my most successful video of the year. So maybe sometimes I just overcomplicate stuff when it comes to the videoing, the filming. It's going back and looking at those videos that were successful in that way that sort of shape how I'm thinking about what I want to do next.
No, we used to work together about 20 years we go back, David, don't we?
About 20
And
years,
we've similar interests, mountain biking and various other hobbies. And he's roped me into this camp tonight, so I don't know how it's going to go. We'll see.
So when he says you were his boss, what he really means is you were ultimately responsible for his mess.
That's
My,
it, yeah.
side of the sections.
Discovered something interesting about Jim. Jim was in Come Down With Me.
Ah, yes, I was indeed. Couples Come Down With Me.
Couples Come Down With Me.
My partner Mandy. Season 7, episode 27. It's County Antrim version, so yeah, it was quite interesting, so it was.
Who won?
Well, you'll have to watch and see, won't you?
Right. Jim, nice to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Cheerio.
Bye.
No, you could have done just met.
Bye, sheeps. David, could you do one very important thing for me just before
What,
Could
a wee hug or something?
we hug?
Back rub or...
Could you hand me my hiking poles out of the bag?
Oh, the serious stuff's coming out here.
Do you know the Morse code for SOS?
No.
I'm going to put the camera away. I'll meet you up top, and we can restart the conversation up there. Ooh. Just got pitched in time. Clouds have come in and I think it's going to rain soon, but trust me, the view from here will be absolutely incredible in the morning. Earlier in the summer, after hearing other creatives rave about them for ages, I finally decided, you know what, I'm going to do a proper test with YouTube Shorts. I saw a guy, Jevon Dovey. Jevon posted one short per day for 30 days and saw a massive explosion in growth on his channel. He grew a channel from like 10,000 subscribers to I think over like 200,000 in the space of about a month and a half, just by posting daily shorts. And he also thought that those views were converting to long form, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give this a test. So I posted one short every single day I did it for about 20 days, and then it became slightly inconsistent, but even in just that time the results were unbelievable. Okay, so the way I did the shorts, first of all, maybe I should explain that. For each short, what I did was I looked through my previous videos, tried to find one that I could maybe find something interesting, or I could come up with a little bit of a story, or just an interesting video. I didn't want to just chuck up some clips. So I wrote like a script, maybe up to 30 to 60 second script. I recorded it as voiceover, I edited together my little vertical video, added subtitles to it, posted one of those per day. My views, subscribers skyrocketed for the period that I did that. After about 2 weeks of posting these, it didn't happen straight away. Massive spike. I mean, if you look at it, it's like 3 or 4 times, even more, actually more than that, like 5 times the normal traffic I would normally get. Subscriber numbers went way, way, way up. And there was evidence that some of the shorts were sending people to my long form videos. However, fast forward several months later, and if you look at the chart, everything's gone pretty much back to where it was before, which kind of tells me that all those subscribers, I mean, there is a slight gain, but it kind of tells me that of all those subscribers that I gained during that time, very few of them were any use. Very few of them were going to come back and watch my long form videos. They were only there for the cheap throwaway content, and it's not necessarily the audience I want to get. And I also realized it's not even the same audience that watches my long videos. If I look at the demographics for my shorts versus the demographics for my longer videos, they're different. They're younger. They're from different places. It's not the same people. It's not the right people. And for me, long form matters. So really, for me, shorts did not help my channel the way I hoped it did. So I'm currently debating completely removing them from my channel altogether and maybe putting them onto its own dedicated channel. The only shorts that were successful were the ones that I put a lot of thought and effort into, where I planned out and thought what will work, what will be interesting, and wrote the script. And that meant that each short that I was making took me about an hour to make, and then I probably spent about another hour publicizing it and replying to comments and so on. So I was essentially saddling myself with an extra 14 hours a week work, and that has to come from somewhere, and it came from me not making as many long form videos as I would normally have made. So yeah, that time's possibly and probably more valuably spent elsewhere. Now you might say, what about this new feature that YouTube has introduced, allowing you to use shorts as a teaser? You can click through to a longer video. I've enabled that in all my shorts. Nothing significant has happened. I think for the nature of the type of videos I make, which are longer adventure videos where someone needs to sit down and invest time and be in the mood for that kind of video, Shorts isn't right. Shorts is a platform where you go to waste time, where you go for dopamine hit, dopamine hit, dopamine hit. If I was like a pranks channel, or like a Mr. Beast channel, or like a stunt channel, or some kind of channel that does really big, silly, dramatic things, then I think that might work. You see the short, the teaser, ooh, what happens when they drop the anvil in somebody's head, and then you click to watch the full video to find out. I don't really make that type of content, so I don't think they've worked for me. However, where shorts have worked for me is when I posted them to Instagram and TikTok. I gained about 3,000 followers on Instagram in the space of a month and a half from posting those shorts as reels, and then gained quite a few followers on TikTok. Instagram I value because I started there before I was on YouTube, and I've got a lot of good contacts there, a lot of good friends, so that platform matters to me. TikTok I care less about. I mean, it's the channel, the platform of the moment, but I still struggle with the idea that short form videos actually are valuable, although I could be wrong and I await to find out otherwise. But I am generally convinced that a view on TikTok is worth about 100 TikTok views are worth about one YouTube view, and 100 TikTok followers are worth about one YouTube subscriber in terms of the amount of time people spend with you. So yeah, shorts, not a success for my channel.
Oh, it's windy.
All right. Let's have a sit down and have a chat about the stuff that's been good. I just dropped my phone away down there. I've reacquired my phone and my notes. So yeah, what has been good about this channel over the last year? And you know what? It's exactly the same thing that I said was the best thing last year, and it's meeting people. Usually outdoors or at running events or something like that, who say hello and they tell me that they watched one of my videos and it triggered or inspired a positive change in their life. Be that I bumped into people at races who've started running because of the videos, or they've just turned up and done that particular race, or people who started hiking or camping or whatever. And coincidentally, David, one of the two guys I briefly hiked in with yesterday, he saw the very first video I posted 5 years ago, like the very first Black Outdoors video.
I started getting bored sitting in the house, decided to watch these like outdoorsy, and I come across this slightly crazy guy. Thought he looks like good fun, and that was the first one really. Thought I could do that. Just a bit like yours, if I got out a hike and I made one more person get out on a hike, up off their bottom, out of the house, something easy they could do, well then we're winning. You know, so I sort of grew from there.
Yeah, it's wow. See, I thought that first video, I look at it now and think it's rubbish. I never get over how amazing that is, that you can do something, have a positive impact in someone's life just by making your self-indulgent art. I mean, you could argue that's what it is, self-indulgent art like that. So yeah, that's the thing that makes it worth it for me, is when it actually has an impact on people. But it's not just that. I mean, while we're talking about people, it's also given me opportunities to meet all kinds of interesting people I just maybe wouldn't have met otherwise. Either they say hello online, or it's in person. And sometimes, if I'm honest, that can overwhelm a bit, because I can sometimes get too many messages from too many people telling me about too many things that could be interesting, or too many people maybe asking me, saying they want to go on a hike, and I just can't, you just can't say yes to them all. But yeah, I've met some great people, some interesting people through doing this. Also, on the sort of the people connection, it has opened up connections for me for my commercial work and for brands that I've ended up collaborating with. That's been great, and I'd love to work more with outdoor brands. I'd like to get away from just making a lot of the more boring corporate video work I do. Not that any of my clients are boring, just in case you're watching. But it just doesn't excite me the way that getting to make outdoors videos or running videos or something like that does. So my hope might be, I can get maybe more clients in those areas through sort of using my YouTube channel almost as a portfolio, and then I can decrease my reliance on some commercial clients. And I guess on that note, because of the income I make from, look at that view opening up. That's pretty cool. Because of the income I make from YouTube channel and connected to it, it does free me up from a complete reliance on clients. There was a time when I would have said yes to every single job that came my way, just because I was desperate, I needed it. And often I would send a quote, they would say it's too much, and then they would, I would end up going down and quoting much lesser than I should have, and just working a lot for not what the work was worth. YouTube kind of plugs those gaps now between projects, so I am able to pick and choose the client projects that I do. Ooh, view. That I do a bit better now. So I'm probably now making about a quarter of my monthly income from YouTube and sort of the things connected to it. And there's been a couple of months this summer where it was close to 100%, and that's never happened before, which is pretty cool. This is one of 3, I think, summit huts up in the Mourne Mountains, and these, I think, were built so that the men who built the Mourne Wall would have somewhere to come and shelter during bad times, which seems like a good place to sit down and discuss what's been bad over the last year on my YouTube channel, or what things have kind of been a bit negative. I suppose the things that have been difficult is stuff like spending days and days working on videos that nobody actually watches. In the end, that can be quite demoralising, especially when you think it's a video that's going to do well, and I don't know why it didn't work. There are a couple of videos like that this year. I'm not going to name them, but I had high hopes for them, partly because in some cases the topics I thought were important. It was more than just, here's a nice hike. There's a bit more depth to it than that, and they didn't really get the views I thought they might. And then there's the keeping up with the comments, messages, requests, and questions from people. That's always been difficult, and that's an ongoing difficulty. Not because I don't enjoy doing it, but because it takes up so much time. And I spend 5 to 7 hours a week replying to messages. If I didn't reply to any messages or any comments, I could probably publish an extra video a week. So it's a question of where is valuable to put my time. But I like helping people. I like giving people the time of day. Although sometimes you do get people who will take up a lot of your time, and sometimes there's a few individuals will take up the majority of the time that people take up. So not that I necessarily begrudge them that, but it's more on me. I think it's more on me to manage my time than it is me trying to tell people don't message me, because I don't want to give that message. I just need to, have the courage to not reply when I know it's not good. It's not a good time for me to reply, and just be honest with myself about that. One possibly unusual problem is that I never have a lack of ideas. I'm going to go outside, it's maybe a bit echoey in here. I never have a lack of ideas, but what I struggle with is knowing which idea to do next, or which one to prioritize and which one will actually work. Sometimes I'll have ideas, I have a long list of video ideas I'd like to do, and I always feel like I should work through that list, but often what happens is what seems like a better idea will pop up, And sometimes that does turn out to be a better idea, but sometimes it just turns to be a waste of time because I'm really easily distracted by novelty. So if something comes up that's new and interesting, I will jump at it before spending enough time to figure out if it is actually going to be interesting long term or not. And sometimes that results in a good video, and sometimes that results in a video that, well, wasn't as interesting as I thought it was going to be, or people weren't as interested in that thing as I was, or I lost interest in the topic shortly thereafter. So yeah, knowing which ideas to do is difficult. I don't know if that's actually a problem as such. I still don't have a work-life balance, really. Because I end up editing at the weekends, I end up editing in the evenings, and I'm juggling my client work, and I don't even have a work-life balance when I wasn't doing YouTube because my client work was interfering because you got emails all the time of the day. Trying to get better at it. I'm trying to, some nights just put, okay, I'm not going to do any more work after 9 p.m. Hard line on it. That's it, and things like that. I'm slightly getting better at managing that kind of doing too much stress, full side of it. On that kind of note, I do find it a struggle to release one quality video a week and juggle my commercial work at the same time. There's been times when I've focused too much on YouTube and some of my commercial stuff has slid or haven't been able to keep on top of it. Or there's been times I've been really busy with commercial work and I haven't really managed to get a quality YouTube video done. So maybe I put too much pressure on myself to do one quality video a week. It is a lot of work, and the way I do my videos, they take a lot of time to edit, and no amount of editing techniques or anything is going to speed that up. It's just by the nature they're time consuming. I do about 4 different runs through my edit, whereas I know people, the way they edit their videos is what I would basically call my rough cut. And they publish it and it's good to go. And actually, for some people that actually works, but it's not what I want to make. It doesn't interest me. I'm now finding it more difficult to do client jobs that require a lot of time planning and creative thinking because a lot of my brain power is taken up with ideas for YouTube. So, bit of a conflict there. I need to figure out a way of resolving that, better allocating time. Possibly a way around that is I end up half my month is on client work and half my month is on YouTube or something like that. I don't know. It's just something I've noticed. While I like to do videos with other people, I really struggle to plan videos with other people well in advance. And then I wind up just thinking, I'll just do it myself. It's just easier. But I do want to do more videos with other people. And I guess the last big thing was that this year, from last September, I had that whole time where I did too much. I burnt myself out. I was sick for 6 weeks and I was demoralized. I stopped running for months and I just entered into this kind of stressy, depressy, but not that, just a state. I just had a constant state of low level anxiety and stress for about 6 months, and I got repeatedly sick because I did too much and I burnt out. So yeah, I just need to learn to manage that. What's this? Oh, the future. Let's talk about the future of this channel. So what I've discovered is I am happiest and get the most enjoyment when I get to have variety. I don't really like doing the same thing over and over again. And I really enjoyed this year doing a variety of activities. I did paddleboarding, I did bikepacking, I did hiking, I did running, camping, a wide range. You compare that to it's kind of 2021 into 2022, I really concentrated on mountain running, and at the end of it, once I did that big race that I've been building up to, I got it done, made that video, Ring of Steel, and I'm really, really proud of that, really proud of what I did. But actually, I ended up looking back slightly resentful because any free time I had that summer was spent running. I didn't get to cycle, I didn't get to go paddleboarding, I didn't really get to camp that much, and I did actually genuinely feel kind of resentful that my time had just kind of been eaten up by this one activity that I'd just spent hours and hours and hours and hours just out on my own, doing the same thing every weekend over and over and over again. And if you're an obsessive type, that you'll be like, well, what's the problem with that? If you're the person who goes out and does like a 4-hour bike ride every single Saturday in life, you'll not get it at all. I mean, it sounds like that should be perfectly reasonable, and to be honest, it is perfectly reasonable. If you're someone that enjoys doing one activity and doing it really well, and that's all you do, you get the satisfaction from that, that's fine. But for me, I wasn't really doing it, I think, well, I was doing it because I enjoyed it, but it wasn't just that. I was doing it, it was a means to an end. It was a means to the end of being able to make this video along this epic route that I wanted to make, but it's just that the process just took so much time from other things. And maybe I could have cross-trained a little bit more, but I've discovered this year I'm most happiest when I'm doing multiple activities, when I've got that mix. So expect the mix to continue. As I mentioned earlier, the videos that I spend the most time planning get the most views, and I also get the most satisfaction from them, especially those ones where I come up with some kind of unique idea, something that's fun that I can do, like maybe something interesting topic, interesting title. So I've got a few ideas like that. Expect more of those this year. I just need to commit to them and get them done, because I often think of them and then just tie myself up and thinking they're too much work, I'm not doing them. So yeah, I just got to get it done. I mentioned this in the previous video, but my client work let me down badly in 2022. It was basically, I had clients who were really regular, and by that I don't mean they're really good at going to the toilet. They were just repeat clients, and I came to rely on them. It's not their fault, it's my fault. But when things at the business changed or the organization changed and they suddenly didn't need my services, it pulled the rug out from under me and really left me in a precarious position last year, and it sucked. It really sucked. It's the worst situation I've been in for years, and it's made me realize I need to have a larger variety of work. I cannot be relying on a few key clients like that, because I am at the bottom of their list of priorities. I'm a third party. I don't even, I'm not employed. If something goes wrong there, they're having financial trouble, I'm the last person they think of. So I need to try and shift that. I'd like to, if I could, I'd like to maybe shift it. So say 50 to 75% of my income is coming as a result of YouTube. And that would free me up to being able to pick and choose my client projects a bit more. And the thing that might actually help with that is the tech channel. So over a year ago, I decided that the mix of tech and videos on this channel was really damaging the outdoor views, because there's a lot more interest in tech than there is in the outdoors. If I make outdoors videos, the people who will mostly watch them are people in the UK. If I make tech videos, the people who mostly watch them are people in the United States. It's a much wider audience globally and geographically. In terms of my viewership from Ireland as an island, I have no idea what way it's skewed. Northern Ireland counts as United Kingdom in YouTube stats, so Ireland as a whole, I've no idea what the numbers are, but I do know that my numbers that I get from the Republic of Ireland are not amazing. And I've always wondered, is that because YouTube puts my videos in the UK? It doesn't kind of get the idea that I'm still in Ireland. On the island, just in case anybody wants to get political about it. But I really don't care. But I think that YouTube will suggest my videos to people in the UK more than it does to people in Ireland, because it doesn't think I'm actually Irish or on the island, if you know what I mean. So yeah, YouTube is sectarian. You heard it here first. Where am I going with this? Oh yes, tech versus the outdoors videos. So yes, I took all my tech videos off, put the popular ones still up on a new tech channel, and that channel, in significantly less time than my main channel, has become monetized. It's got like 3,000 subscribers, and at the current rate it will overtake my current channel in terms of, what I'm making from it, and in terms of regular views and regular subscribers, within the next 6 months to a year. Now, don't panic, don't think that Stephen is going to give up his main channel because he's chasing the money. But what might happen is that the tech channel then becomes the day job. It becomes the channel where I churn out the videos, I make the videos, maybe not the most exciting, I maybe don't get the most from making them, but they get the most views, they earn the most money, they get me the best sort of deals with brands and things like that as well. And then the money I make from that means I can decrease my reliance on client work, which means I can make more of the types of videos I want to make for my main channel. So yeah, we'll see. We will see what happens. Watch this space. Very much watch this space. Aside from that, I want to make more videos with other people, maybe some collabs, maybe just there's a few people I wanted to make videos with last year and I didn't get round to it, so hopefully I'll get round to doing that this year. Maybe some familiar faces as well. And then lastly, I'd like to make maybe videos that are about issues, like mini documentaries or things I find interesting, maybe historical, or a good example is I'd like to make a video about the blue-green algae crisis in Lough Neagh. Lough Neagh is the largest body of water, the largest lake in the UK and Ireland, and it's currently poisoned by blue-green algae. It looks horrendous. You see photographs of it from space. Previous summers it was full of people paddleboarding, having a great time. Now you can't. Multiple dogs have been poisoned by this algae. No one's been able to go in the water. Wild swimmers can't go. Businesses have gone out of business. It's a massive crisis that our amazing government doesn't seem to be doing that much about. So yeah, I thought I'd like to maybe make a video about that. It's been caused by all, well, we'll not go into the details now, but it's caused by all kinds of stuff. Agricultural runoff, sewage, increasing temperatures, clear water due to invasive oyster mussels, zebra mussels. It's complicated. But yeah, issues like that, those kinds of things I might want to make like the odd video about that sort of thing. Although I always worry that people just won't care, because that has happened in the past. I've made videos with things I think are like important. Nobody cares. They just want to watch a fun video. So it's tricky. So I guess to summarize, more of the same, but hopefully also a little bit better and a few things slightly different. But let's now discuss why I don't think my channel is ever really going to explode in popularity. Oh, they've cut down the trees. Some of those trees were my friends. The reason I think my channel won't ever do amazingly well or ever suddenly get a massive pile of beneficial growth, because in the past, occasionally I've had a video that's done really well and I'll get like a burst of growth, but it doesn't seem to ever lead anywhere. I think to get that real sort of explosion of growth, you need to have successful video after successful video after successful video, like really successful video. And I just don't think that's likely to happen in my channel. I think it boils down to consistency, because I'm not consistent, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing for me. The topics of my videos are not consistent. I'm not constantly putting out wild camping videos to attract that wild camping crowd. I'm not constantly doing running videos. I'm not constantly doing hiking videos. The style changes. I'll switch between, really cinematic, really considered, really well planned out videos to ones where I just grab and go with an action camera. I mix it up. I don't think my videos attract people who are like really fanatical about something, in the way that if I concentrate on the one area, it might. Like if I just made wild camping videos for a year, I think my channel could do really, really well. Or if I just made bikepacking videos for a year, I think it would do really, really well. But the thing is, I find that kind of consistency really, really dull and boring. It's not who I am as a person. It doesn't reflect my interests. My interests change throughout the year. I like to try different things out throughout the year. I've discovered it. It's not good for me, or at least I don't enjoy obsessing over one thing for a long time. So I'm always gonna be chopping, changing what I'm doing, experimenting, and I just genuinely feel that means the channel just won't ever have that kind of consistency. It needs to explode someday. But I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I mean, I'm in a pretty good position with the channel and getting a decent income from it. It's connecting me with brands, and there are benefits to not having a massive channel. It means I can still reply to nearly every comment. So yeah, I'm gonna carry on being inconsistent, at least for now. I'm just kind of excited to see what does happen in the future, because to be honest, I never really feel like I'm quite in control anyway, and maybe that's a good thing.